how certain artists, you mentioned that Kelly started by, you and Kelly actually, when you started touring with her, started doing a lot of cover songs. And I'm really curious, I think about this all the time, even as a musician myself, like, I'm always concerned to do covers because I don't want to get, caught as a cover artist, where people like, this cover blows up on YouTube, I have 10 million views on it, and now when I go play a show, people want to hear that cover instead of my song. And but there's a lot of artists that have done that, like Kelly with Idol, and then or Shawn Mendes on Vine when he was doing like these cover songs. And I'd love to know your perspective on how you helped Kelly transition from a cover artist into now her, like, when people think Kelly Clarkson, they think of like all original music. They don't think of her covering Howard Smith. So how do you make that transition, or how do you not get caught? How do you? Because every musician needs to do covers or should do covers to some degree. But it's like, how do you not get caught in that?
Yeah, I think that the key for her was, well, it felt organic because Idol was mostly covers. So it was actually with all covers until a moment like this, which was written for her at the end. So the first tour, it felt natural to do the stuff she did on the show, and then we kind of did like a little influence segment, and it was just her covering the things that she loved. If you'd have interviewed me at that time, my guess would have been, we have to do this the first tour, but once her album comes out, we're not going to do any more covers, because that's not what a lot of artists do. And that's just a testament to Kelly. She's the one who's like, no, these are my fans, that voted for me. They love hearing me do that. So, and then it was important to Kelly and to myself to, okay, if we're going to keep incorporating covers, and that was our second tour, we started doing that when we started Breakaway. If we're going to do it, let's at least try to make it meaningful to you, or let's try to put a twist on it, so we're not just literally doing karaoke covers. And so that's, most of the time we do something with Kelly, majority of the time there's a spin that she puts on it, and, a little bit.
So even in her touring shows, she would do covers?
Yeah, so we, the first tour when we did this medley of covers, it got to be apparent that 60 shows in, you're going to get bored singing the same covers every night. So I went to her during the Breakaway tour, and I think this was like right at the beginning of Twitter or Facebook, and I would start getting messages from fans saying, we want to hear a cover of this or cover that. So I suggested, like, hey, why don't we cover a different song every night? Let's poll your fans and see what they want to hear. And she was like, isn't that going to be too hard to do? I'm like, no, we'll just, I'll have it arranged in the morning, show up for sound check, sing it. And so we started in 2004, 2005 doing a different cover song every night. And again, I thought that would just be for that tour, and then it became a fans loved it. And so 15 years later, it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to run out of songs to cover at some point. And now that's been amplified times 100 with the TV show. Now we open every song with a cover.
Yeah, which that's a perfect segue into this next section that I want to talk about which would be something with the TV show and stuff, and your involvement with that. But the karaoke, I was gonna say that's the perfect, like, she still continues to do these covers with the karaoke, which is like just fascinating. Like, and I don't know the answer to this. Maybe I don't know if you do or not either. But it still is interesting with the amount of covers she does that she's still known as Kelly Clarkson, the original music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't
that's what I was going to say earlier. It's just like, if she would have just come out of the show and done covers and recorded other people's songs, she probably would have been known as the cover person. But right off the bat, I mean, she's also an incredible songwriter.
Sure.
Because of You, Walk Away,
of course,
Hazel Eyes, and then everything on to even the stuff we're working on now. So I think her greatness as a songwriter and a vocalist, and also doing the covers and just her emoting things, I think she can get away with it that some others maybe couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I find that so fascinating. It's very interesting to see which artists do get caught in it and which don't. It's very, very interesting, and it's definitely a fear of mine. No, but that's cool, man. That's amazing. So.